In October of 2000, the second intifada started in Israel. Gilo was under total siege. They were being bombarded all the time, every day. For the first time, the population was saying, we can't handle this psychologically. The trauma is too great. They needed help. And New York went over there right away. And what we saw happening was the need for programming. So New York started to fund the Israel Trauma Coalition.
The Federation of Los Angeles got involved with the Israel Trauma Coalition directly during 2008 by providing support to communities in the South and throughout the country. There are many federations who support us: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Boston, Atlanta, St. Louis, Philadelphia, and many more. The Israel Trauma Coalition is an organization of 40 NGOs in Israel who provide resilience building, training, and direct care to citizens in Israel.
For nearly 2 decades, ITC has been there. In the north, where barrages of Hezbollah rockets have rained down on Israeli homes. In the center of the country, following repeated suicide bombings and other attacks. And in the south, where Israelis have lived under near constant fire.
My name is Chen Kotler and we are now in my kibbutz Kfar Aza, where I've been living most of my life from the age of 4. Kfar Aza located about a mile from the Gaza Strip, and in many ways our life is shaped and determined by this proximity. I'm holding a balloon device, a fire device that was shot at the kibbutz 4 weeks ago. This was a white balloon that was filled with air. When the balloon lands, this becomes a ball of fire. And you can stand here in the afternoon and just see a bundle of balloons going in the air and not knowing where it will land. Now, imagine telling your kids, you see a balloon? Don't touch it, run away. I mean, balloons and kites is like the most innocent, immediate fun for kids. That's it. He lost another piece of innocence in his life. It takes a really big toll from all of us. I mean, sleepless night, terrible attacks of hundreds of rockets a day. The IDF give us the physical support, and the Israeli Trauma Coalition give us the emotional support. And we need both of them. When you live over a decade in this extreme, crazy security situation, you need to keep going. And one of the things that the Trauma Coalition brought us is the word chosen, resilience.
I would say that the challenge that the world is facing is one that no organization can do alone. And we all need to do it together. And that's why the Israel Trauma Coalition was created in partnership with NGOs and government ministries in Israel, and of course, the federations without whom this could not have been done. And for that, we are very grateful.
Please welcome Chen Kotler Abrahams from Kfar Aza.
Life under fire has been my reality. The reality of my entire kibbutz and the reality of many Israelis for longer than we can remember. We face a range of threats. As you saw in the video, there are rockets, there is shooting, and fire kites, like this one, which landed in our fields just a few days ago. This is what we are facing daily. Many of you in this room have personally come to visit us, to rally around us, and to remind us that we are not alone. And for that, we are forever grateful. Here in Israel, we continue our lives with the challenges that come from our reality. But around the world, there are many others facing the unspeakable, new victims of trauma.
horrific shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. It's the deadliest mass shooting in modern United States history. Panicked people desperately running for their lives.
And when it didn't stop, we all realized what was happening.
Parkland consistently voted one of the safest communities in America until today.
Gunshots ring out in this South Florida high school. Students waiting in horror for help to arrive. Terrified children let out from their hiding places with hands in the air. Chaos, students streaming out of the building, some running, many with their hands on their heads, a sea of backpacks abandoned on the ground.
I know your best friend was shot right next to you.
Yeah, unfortunately, she didn't make it.
Today, I'm honored to introduce a sister from across the world, a woman whose community was recently a site of violent attack that left its people shaken and in need for Israel's assistance. Please join me in welcoming the Vice Mayor of Parkland, Florida, Stacy Koolick.
Good morning. It happened February 14th this year in our local high school. It happened to 17 innocent children and heroic teachers who gave their lives to try and protect them. A hail of bullets shattered the peace and the security of our idyllic, beautiful small town and shook our entire community to its core. In the days following the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, grieving and in shock, we received an outpouring of support from across the country, across the world, and Israel. Within days, experts from the Israel Trauma Coalition were on the ground in Parkland. They were training our local counselors who were there themselves and unprepared to address the impact of a large-scale attack that terrorized our local residents. The team from the Israel Trauma Coalition was nothing short of incredible, and their experience was invaluable. As a token of our deep appreciation, I am honored and I am humbled to present the City of the Key to Parkland to Gail Norrie, the chair of JFNA's Emergency Committee. Well, very emotional for me. The plaque reads, as presented, to the General Assembly of the Jewish Federations of North America by the City of Parkland, Mayor, and Commission for your support in the wake of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School tragedy. For me personally, being here is one of the most bittersweet moments of my entire life. It will stay with me and with my husband forever. Today I stand before you not only as an elected official, but as a Jewish woman who has always wanted to visit Israel. I've dreamed of this, but never made it until now. I never could have imagined I would be here under these circumstances. As a Parkland resident, I come here to express my appreciation to the Israel Trauma Coalition, the entire Federation movement, and the people and government of Israel for standing with us. This was our time of need. You showed up. You gave us strength, and you taught us how to be resilient. As a wife, a mother, and a consoler to those families and children that were taken from this horrible tragedy, I am here to say toda. Toda. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.